Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you for joining wherever you're joining from. Thank you for connecting. Thank you for joining. Thank you for connecting wherever you're connecting from. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining. Wherever you're joining from. Thank you for connecting. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Thank you for connecting wherever you're joining from. I appreciate you so much for connecting to the program. Thank you for joining. Thank you for connecting. I say may Chukwuma be my guide and protect you as you're joining us on today's program. I appreciate you and I thank you so much for your contributions on the channel. Thank you for connecting. Thank you for the role you are playing on the channel. Thank you for making it possible for our voice to be heard. Please give a like to the video, and share on your platform. Share the video on your platform. Share the video any place you belong. Keep on sharing, keep on sharing. We have to pass the information so that it will get across the world. We have to tell our stories. We will not allow others to tell our stories. No matter how they try to stop us, no matter how they try to hinder us, we will not allow them. On a daily basis, you see attack coming from east, west, north, and south, from all corners. But we that we know what we are pursuing and what we are looking toward, we can never stop. We cannot stop fighting. We will continue to send the information out there, set the record straight, and say it the way it is. That is exactly what I do here on a daily basis. On this channel, we don't preach hate speech. We don't attack people. We don't speak against people. We are only bringing out the plight of the Biafran people, telling the world the exact situation of things in Biafra land. And we say no to every intimidation. We say no to every attack. We say no to all manner of blackmail against us. We are standing against it. Today, as you all know, is another wonderful day. A day that Biafrans have spoken louder than ever, and Biafrans have come together to reject the imposter that they have placed in Anambra State to deceive the people. Today, Biafrans have once again denied Soludo and his plans. Biafra have once again rejected Soludo and all his plans against the Biafra people. Just as they have been doing in the past, we have done it once again. And this one is loud. You see, with all the threat that is coming from east, west, north, south, from all corners, Biafrans are still standing firm, holding strong what they believe in and making sure that nobody takes away our freedom from us. Our freedom cannot be sold for porridge. Our freedom cannot be given out. No inch of Biafra land will be taken away. That was the promise that Pastor Nnamdi Kanu made. And we are holding on that promise and standing on it, working towards it to make sure that no part of Biafra land is taken away by the enemies. They are trying by all means possible to take our land. They try by all means possible to blackmail us. They try as much possible as they can to go after those who are genuinely fighting for the struggle, but they will not succeed. They won't succeed. Today is Monday, a day that Biafrans set aside to speak up. You know, we just passed through the whole day of Monday, and Biafrans have spoken loudly as they have always done. They have spoken loudly with all the threat of Soludo, with all the attack of Soludo, with all his blackmail, all his plans. Biafrans have rejected him totally. And Biafrans have spoken loud and say that all they want is their freedom. The freedom of Pastor Nnamdi Kanu. Only that and that alone can stop the seat at home. Soludo knows this very well. He knows very well. But because the people who put him in power, the Fulani caliphate, have made him swear an oath to defend them and defend their agenda, that is why they are bent on destroying the struggle. And today, Soludo have come to make a challenge against the Biafran people, letting us know that the only mission he has is to destroy the Biafra struggle. But he will not succeed. He will not succeed. No matter how he try to do it, no matter the angle he's fighting from, he is not going to succeed. He's not going to take away our freedom. Biafrans know the value of freedom. We know what we want, and nobody can stop us from looking for that which we want. That is why the sit at home was going on today, just as every other day. Soludo called a prayer. Nobody answered the prayer. The only video that we saw where the prayer was held was the place where he went with his organized spirits, those ones who are on his payroll, those ones who don't have conscience. They were the one that we are holding prayer with Soludo. But wait and see. Biafrans have said that next Monday is going to be greater. As we are waiting for the freedom of our school ambassador Nnamdi Kanu coming next case, we'll keep on hoping, keep on believing God for what is about to happen. But I thank Chukwuma and I thank every Biafra in Biafra land that we have not allowed them to hijack the stadium. We have not allowed them to hijack the space. We have not allowed them to hijack the situation. We have not allowed them to make Pastor Nnamdi Kanu irrelevant. We have continued to hold that public opinion to show that Pastor Nnamdi Kanu still enjoys the support of Biafran people fully. And Biafran people are sitting at home on their own without being forced. We have chosen that path to free our Pastor Nnamdi Kanu. And it doesn't matter what anybody does. It doesn't matter what anybody says. No matter what they are doing, we will continue to fight for our freedom and we will get that freedom. We are not going to beg for it. And we are up to take it. They have tried every means possible to stop the Biafran people. They couldn't stop us. They have tried all manner of strategies. It couldn't work. And their last resort that they have now is to go through Soludo. Now they are penetrating through Soludo to fight against a struggle that is legitimate, a struggle that Soludo himself knows that is legitimate, a struggle that Soludo himself has spoken up about before. But all of a sudden, thought to show you the brain and mindset of a black man, he had decided to sell his soul because of a position, because of political career. Today, Soludo can now start boldly and say the same thing he was saying in those days when Soludo came out and made a speech and said Pastor Nnamdi Kanu is being detained unjustly. He said that in 2015 when he was arrested the first time, that there was no reason to arrest Pastor Nnamdi Kanu and no reason why Pastor Nnamdi Kanu should remain in prison or in detention. But the reason why they are holding Pastor Nnamdi Kanu is see the continuation of that very case in 2015. That is why they went to Kenya, kidnapped Pastor Nnamdi Kanu, sent him to Nigeria through extraordinary edition. Then Soludo was calling for elites. Today, Soludo is the chief security of Anambra State, one of the elites in Igbo land. And instead of him using that position today to ask for the release of Pastor Nnamdi Kanu, he is demonizing the people who are asking for the release of Pastor Nnamdi Kanu, deceiving them. He has even opened another war gate. He is even trying to proscribe the IPOB the second time. Soludo is trying to proscribe the Biafran people again. Let him go and watch the video of Obiano. Obiano, with all the proscription he did against the Biafran people, where is he today? After proscribing IPOB, today he is facing the EFCC. Today he cannot move an inch. Today his property is being seized. Why is it that this politician cannot learn a lesson? They can never learn. They can learn. Obiano today that is being prosecuted, Obiano was the person that came out boldly to announce the proscription of IPOB. Obiano was part of those who brought Python dance that took the life of Biafra, took the life of the parents of our spring leader. Obiano was one of the people that made Pastor Nnamdi Kanu suffering today. And where is Obiano? After serving the caliphate, after playing the role of the caliphate, after doing all those work for caliphate, where is he today? Where is he? Ask yourself, where is Obiano today? Today, Obiano is running helter-skelter. He's running helter-skelter. Nobody's to speak for him. Nobody to stand for him. He's been disgraced. From the very night he came down as a governor, he began to face that disgrace. And Soludo case is going to be worse if he doesn't retrace his step. If he doesn't retrace his step, his own case is going to be worse. The case of Soludo is going to be worse than any other governor in the southeast. For Soludo to come and declare war against the Biafra struggle, he has made it open that the only agenda Soludo has is to make sure that he stops the agitation. But the reason for the agitation, Soludo is not ready to address. The reason why Biafran people are agitating, why Biafran people are sitting at home, Soludo is not ready to address it. Soludo knows that the only thing that can restore sanity and make people come back to their senses is to release Pastor Nnamdi Kanu. Please share the video to your platform. Give a like to the video, give a thumbs up to the video, and share to your platform. Share to friends and family, in your WhatsApp group, any place you are, share the video. This is a gospel that every one of us have to preach. It's about freedom. The freedom of Biafran people. We cannot sell our freedom for porridge. We cannot back down on fighting for our freedom. No matter how they try to intimidate us, no matter how they try to oppress us, no matter their blackmail, we cannot sell our freedom to any garden person, no matter who you are. We continue to stand firm on our freedom. And freedom is the destination. That is the common interest of every Biafran. We have a common interest where every one of us meet. Freedom. That is what we're asking for. Not only the Biafran people, every indigenous tribe in the country of Nigeria are all asking for their freedom. Everyone is asking for freedom. The Ududuans are asking for their freedom. The Middle Belt are asking for their freedom. Even the Northerners, the Hausa people are asking for their freedom. The Kanu are asking for their freedom. Other tribes are asking for their freedom. But British have decided to enslave every indigenous tribe in Biafra, even the indigenous tribe in that country of Nigeria, through the caliphate, who has made themselves a willing tool to be used. Today, the caliphate is making sure that the oil continue to flow to Britain at the expense of the death of the indigenous people. You can see the way the economy of the country is in shambles. Nothing is working in that country of Nigeria. They are borrowing and borrowing and borrowing the money that their great-grandchildren cannot be able to pay. Today, the economy is dead. There is no source of income anymore. But yet, they are bent on continuing holding that status quo that is not going to pay anybody. Still pursuing and following that very constitution that enslaved everybody, that constitution that makes it possible that there will be no improvement in the life of the people. Because that constitution pays their bill. Because that constitution makes sure that there is money in their pocket. There is money in their bank account. They don't care about the ordinary people. They don't care about the ordinary people in that country called Nigeria. That is why we are asking out of that contraption. And we must be out. The contraption is not doing anybody any good. The contraption is not there to serve the Hausas, not to serve the Ejos, not to serve the Urugu, not to serve the Edos, not to serve even the ordinary Fulani, not to serve the Hausa people. But the only purpose they have there is to make sure they continue to enslave us and subjugate us using our own people. It is sad. It is very sad. But I thank God for the Biafran people who have refused to stay down. Biafran people know whom they are because Chukwuma have blessed them and gave them a land flowing with milk and honey. And they know that they are kings and princes and they will never take a second position. That is why Biafrans are fighting. They are killing Biafrans, taking their life on a daily basis, all the attack, all the blackmail, all the propaganda. Yet, Biafrans are standing strong, lifting their head high. They went ahead to kidnap our Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, an innocent man who has not committed any crime known to man. They went and kidnapped him in Kenya and sent him to Nigeria through extraordinary edition. Even as you're watching this video, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still going through torture. They are torturing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on different fronts. And some people think it's okay. Today, sit at home. People were sitting at home against all the threat. What does that tell you? It shows you that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu still enjoys the support of Biafran people. And the Biafran people believe in what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for. Biafran people are not in support of the detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They are not in support of the torture of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They are not in support of the intimidation in Biafran land. That is why Biafran people, wherever they are sitting at home today, against all odds. They have used their propaganda. They have unleashed their military. They have unleashed some people, even members of IPOB. They have used the leadership, used all manner of things to be able to attack the people, yet they could not be able to succeed. And they will never succeed. Because Biafra restoration is a divine mission which must come to accomplishment. It must be accomplished. You can continue to hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for all I care. You can't stop him from preaching, and you can't stop his message from going far. His message is still going farther, farther, farther than ever. And how I wish you know what is coming. If you know what is coming, you'll be thanking God. You'll be thanking God for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You'll be regretting why you ever detained Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Thank you so much, Franca. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Franca Okonkwo. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. We have to continue doing what we are doing. Continue sending the information. I thank everybody in Biafra land, every man or woman in Biafra land, every child in Biafra land who are standing their ground. They stood their ground today to observe the sit at home against all the attack, against all the intimidation. Biafrans were sitting at home today in Biafra land with all their propaganda. We still have some people in Biafra land who are taking the bullet for us. I appreciate them and I applaud them. I have no reason to talk down on anybody that is in Biafra land. It is not easy. It is not. They are the ones facing the bullet face to face. They are the ones facing the enemy face to face. But we in the media, we are that are abroad, we will continue to encourage them. We continue to speak up for them, encourage them. Everybody in Biafra land deserves praise. They deserve support because they are doing the needful. They are doing the needful, facing the enemy head on. You can see the Biafran people have no representation anywhere. Nobody is there to represent us. That is why you saw a governor that was just elected coming to speak up against the Biafran people. He came on channel television to boast. Came on channel television to boast that now the sit at home can no longer hold again. That have been cancelled. And after boasting on channel television, Monday came, then everyone was still sitting at home to tell him that whatever he's saying is nonsense. Yeah, welcome my sister. Thank you so much for joining. To show him that whatever he's saying it doesn't have meaning. Nobody cares about whatever he's saying. Nobody cares. What we care about is the freedom of the people. And we will continue to pursue that freedom. We will continue to pursue it. It doesn't matter the blackmail, it doesn't matter the propaganda. Wherever they are coming, they can never succeed. They can never succeed. Thank you so much, my sister. I'm doing fine. They can't succeed. He tried to use all manner of weapon, unleash all manner of weapon against Biafran people from all corners, from all angles. Thank you so much, Agatha. Try to unleash attack from all angles, but they cannot succeed. They will never succeed. They will never succeed. Somebody who they claim was elected. That is why sometimes I tell people that election don't hold in. There has never been any election in Nigeria. Since that contract of Nigeria was formed by Britain, there has never been any election. Even before the amalgamation and within the amalgamation, after the amalgamation, till independent, there have never been any election. There was never been any election. It's always selection. Selection. There has always been corruption. It was Britain that institutionalized that very corruption. They played the corruption and gave the northern part of Nigeria a figure that they are operating with up to today. They made the northern part of Nigeria believe that they have the power, they have the masses, they have the number. They gave us a map a map that is false, a map that is not truthful, a map that is not real. When you look at the map, you see that you see that almost the whole landmass is owned by the North. Almost the whole landmass is owned by the North. When you come to the South, it's just about 25%. But it is a lie, absolute lie. But I thank Chukwuma that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have come to destroy all those their evil foundation. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have shaken all those evil foundation. That is why they are scared. They are scared. Any place you are, they are scared. They are worried. They are fighting to the neck to make sure they bring him down, but they cannot. It doesn't matter how long they hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. When your hand begins to pain you, you bring it down, and the child will take back what belongs to him or her. Whoever is holding anything that belongs to a child, take it up so that the name of the hand of the child will not reach. When your hand starts paining you, aching you, you bring that hand down, and the child will take what belongs to him. It doesn't matter how long they hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he will definitely be free. But all our brothers and sisters, Biafran people who still have their freedom, let us continue to do what we are doing. Do not allow them to play down the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Let us not allow them to use politics, use their stupid presidency. Do not allow them to use it to bury the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We will not allow them. And that is what they are trying to use Soludo to do. They want to use Soludo to make people stop talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If we lose it at home, nobody will speak about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu again. If we miss the seat at home, nobody anywhere will speak about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The only reason why you see the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu topic still remains on the front burner, remains the most important thing that is being discussed, is because of the seat at home. At least every Monday, you hope Biafran hand is locked down. Every Monday, Biafran hand is shut down. Upon all their propaganda, all their campaign they are doing, using their media. Go to their media. Go to their media, you see what they are doing in their media. Go to their media, you see what they are doing in their media. Thank you, Casey. Thank you for joining. Go to their media. In their media, what do they use their media? They use their media to blackmail Biafran people. They use their media to push false information against Biafrans. That is what they are doing in their media. When you watch the conventional media, you see what they are saying. They brought all manner of propaganda just to demonize IPOB, just to demonize Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, just to make people lose faith in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But I thank Chukwuma because the truth cannot be covered anymore. The truth can no longer be covered. In 21st century, everybody have an access for information. Any information you don't have access to, it's the one you don't want to have access to. You can know anything you want to know. Any information you want to get, you get it in a twinkle of an eye. With the handset you have, you can get into any information you want, and nobody will stop you. Thank you so much, Agatha. Thank you so much. You'll be disgraced. Of course. Soludo have received the greatest disgrace ever. He received it today. And that is the beginning of his fall. He has failed already. Soludo failure have begun. He has started failing. For him to dare to fight against the struggle, the freedom of Biafran people. For him to dare fighting against the freedom of Biafran people, he's finished. He's finished. Al Pacino, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. He's finished. For him to dare to fight against Biafran people, instead of doing the needful. Soludo of all people who claim to know Biafra, somebody who knows the problem of Biafra, he knows very well. That is why God will continue to punish him. Why God will not allow him to go free. Why Chukwuma will not allow Soludo to go free, because Soludo himself knows the problem of Biafra. Soludo himself have stood on a platform and speak on behalf of Biafra. Soludo have stood on a platform and speak on behalf of Biafra. Soludo have condemned the incarceration of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in 2015. He spoke against it. He said there's no reason to continue to hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He spoke about it. But today, it is still that same reason. That same reason Soludo spoke about. That is still why they are holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today. It is still that same case that Soludo was supporting. That same case that Soludo talked about in 2015. The same thing is still happening today. But instead of Soludo, now that he has a platform, now that he has a voice, instead of him to ask for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he will not do that. Christian Ozochukwu, thank you so much for joining. He will not do that. Instead of supporting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, what Soludo is doing is to fight Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He's fighting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is not too late for him. If Soludo wants to succeed, if he wants to regain his face, if he wants to clean up the shame that is going to overcome him, if Soludo wants to run away with the shame that will cover him very soon, he should pretend as if he's not even seeing Biafra people. He should just pretend as if he doesn't know anything about the seat at home. He should pretend as if he doesn't even know that the agitation is existing. It's better for him. We are not even telling him to campaign for us. Don't campaign for us. Don't even speak for us. Let him focus on his governance. Let him focus completely on his governance. Let him focus completely on his governance. Let him focus on his governance. Let him focus on that. If Soludo wants to regain his face, if he wants to regain his face, if he still wants to be relevant in Biafra land, he should focus on his governance. Pretend as if he doesn't know that Biafra exists. Never speak about it, and do not talk about the seat at home, because he is going to get the shock of his life. Today he called for prayer. He called a meeting. The meeting he called for traditional ruler, I never saw any video where the meeting was held. I never saw any video where the meeting was held, because the meeting is a lie. And the traditional rulers knew that it was a trap to kill them. The traditional rulers, thank God that the traditional rulers were awake. They knew that it was a trap to kill them. And they learned their lesson. The video we saw where they were praying, the people who gathered to pray are those clergy who are under their payroll. Those clergy that he's able to manipulate. Those clergymen that Soludo can be able to manipulate, those are the ones he gathered. Those are the ones Soludo gathered. He gathered them and began to talk. That's the only video we saw. We didn't see other churches. We know that in Biafra land there are so many churches. Almost every street in Biafra you can see church. Every street in Biafra you can see church. But in all the videos we saw only a place where Soludo went to attend. Even in the BBC man who was being asked a question, if he saw a place where people were praying, he said that he didn't see anywhere. The BBC man confessed that he didn't see anywhere where prayer was being held to stop suicide at home. The only video we saw was that one being concocted by Soludo and his group. Biafran people have spoken, and they will continue to speak. We are not demanding anything. We are not asking for any skyscraper. We are not asking for anything. All we are asking is to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Soludo himself knows that the only thing that is going to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is what? The only thing that is going to stop the sit at home is the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If Soludo want the sit at home to stop, it's as simple as ABC. Even before he became a governor, he knows what we are asking for. He knows. So why is he pretending that he doesn't know? Why is he pretending? And why you must not believe these very people who call themselves politicians? These people who claim they are doing something on the ground, doing this on the ground, why you must not believe them? They are all liars. Soludo will claim that he do something on the ground. You are doing something on the ground, but when you were making your speech during inauguration, you never mentioned Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You did not speak about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu during your inauguration. You never spoke about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Even when you went out to make broadcasts, when you went out to go and clean your dustbin, in order to deceive people, to stop sit at home, you said you want to clean dustbin. You could not even be able to mention Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It was only when you came back to room with your clique that maybe they advised you, then you called his name. You know why the sit at home is being held. Biafran people want their spiritual leader to be released. Our supreme leader, we want him released. That is all we are asking for. That is the only thing we ask for, nothing else. Let him be released. If you want to stop the sit at home, it's as simple as ABC. Go to Asorok, do everything you can, tell them to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If you can't do that, pretend as if you are not seeing us. Pretend as if you are not seeing us. If you can't do that, just pretend as if you are not seeing the Biafran people. That is just the best thing you can do. But the more you continue to speak your lies, speak your evil, the more you continue to attack the Biafran people, that is your failure. That is, you will sink. You will sink. That is your doom. Nobody can wage war against Biafra. Nobody can wage war against Biafra, no matter whom you are. If you wage war against Biafra, you will be finished. wage war against Biafra, that is the end of your life. We are not asking for something that is extraordinary. The only thing we are asking for is self-determination for the people. The self-determination we are asking for is not a crime. International law supports it. African Charter law supports it. Even the Janjaweed law in the country of Nigeria supports self-determination. So why are you not giving us? Why are they not giving us self-determination? And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have said it so many times that we will get the self-determination through referendum. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu never mentioned war. He never said he's going to achieve it through war. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have never said that he's going to achieve referendum through war. No, self-determination through war. He said self-determination through referendum. That is what he has said. Why is it so difficult for these criminals who call themselves politicians? Why is it so difficult for them to come together and ask for this very thing that their people are requesting? It is very clear to even a blind man, even to a child, to everybody in the world. It is very clear to them that people in the southern part of Nigeria, need self-determination. The Biafran people, 99% of Biafran people, they want self-determination. That is their desire. Even the Oduduwa people, conduct a referendum in Oduduwa land, you'll be surprised that 90% of Oduduwa people want referendum. The Middle Belt, the same thing. They want referendum. Why is it that these criminals who call themselves politicians cannot activate that very referendum? Why would they pursue that thing that their people are asking for? Why? Why is it so difficult for them? Why is it so difficult for them? Why is it so difficult for them to do that thing that their people are requesting? You will claim that you are a representative of your people. You claim that you are representing your people, but what your people are asking for, you can never push it forward. You can never push it forward. Instead, the only man that is speaking the voice of the people, you want to kill him by all means possible. And he has not committed any crime. You went to Kenya to kidnap him and damn all the consequences. You went to Kenya to kidnap Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which is against international law, committed that crime, brought him to Nigeria, and you are still torturing him even as I'm doing this video. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still going through torture, psychological torture and mental torture. And still you are bold to try somebody who you have offended. You abused Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, abuse his human rights from all corners, and yet you are bold to say you want to try him. Go ahead. Let's see how you're going to win the case. Go ahead. We know that there is no justice in Nigeria. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can never get justice in Nigeria. Now, a country that is lawless, we have seen in several cases where people were granted freedom in that same contraption by their own judge. The judge that they appointed gave people freedom, yet they refuse to release them. That is why we never believe in the law of the enemy. That is why no Biafran should believe in the law court, because they don't obey their own law. That is why I'm saying that it is you and I, the Biafran people, what we do, our action is going to do, that is what will free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Not the judges, not the lawyers, not the caliphate themselves. That is why we have to continue to hold the public opinion. Make sure that the public opinion always be on the advantage of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Do not allow them to hijack the public opinion. Let them use the conventional media. How many people are watching the conventional media? Majority of the people are on social media, including the international community, including the United Nations. Every one of them is on social media, and they are seeing and watching what is happening. Let us continue to keep the public opinion on the side of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu still enjoys the support of the Biafran people 101%. That is why civil disobedience must be held to the highest esteem. We must not play with civil disobedience. Mainly this sit at home, we must not play with it. It is because of sit at home that they cannot stop talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Because of sit at home, they can never ever stop talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the name of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will continue to be in their mouth. We are able to achieve it. Can you imagine in a electionary year, 2022, when they are now already preparing for the election? When they are already preparing for the election, yet Biafran people are holding the ground. We have to continue to hold it. Do everything you can to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu name remains on top. They cannot take it away. Don't allow them. Do not allow them. They will try by their politics. They have tried on many faces. They couldn't succeed. They have tried with different kind of propaganda to change the narrative, but we don't allow them. That is why we have to sit up. Today, the last card they have to play is Soludo. The last card they have to play is Soludo. They want to use Soludo to change the narrative. It is Soludo. Soludo is the last weapon they have. That is why every Biafran have to wake up. If you can pray, pray. If you can fight, fight. If you can broadcast, broadcast. Anything you can do, start doing it now. Soludo is their last card to destroy the struggle. Soludo is the last card they want to use. You have seen that Soludo came out openly to boast that he is now talking with the people who claim to be working with Pastor Nnamdi Kanu. Some group of people who claim to be fighting for Pastor Nnamdi Kanu, who claim to be Biafra agitators, who claim to be fighting for freedom, they are now today working with politicians. And a politician have come in the open, spoke boldly. He speaks boldly to the world and tell that he is now dialoguing. He is now working together with people who are supposed to protect Pastor Nnamdi Kanu. And you still see them talking about legacy. You see them talking about structure. The people who are shouting on their various platforms talking about structure. Today, that structure of Pastor Nnamdi Kanu, they have destroyed it. Pastor Nnamdi Kanu put a structure in place. In the structure of Pastor Nnamdi Kanu has nothing to do with Nigerian politics. Pastor Nnamdi Kanu has nothing to do with Nigerian politics and politicians. He has nothing with them. If you are a politician in Biafra land and you do something good, Pastor Nnamdi Kanu will congratulate you. If you are a politician and you do something good, Pastor Nnamdi Kanu will congratulate you. If you are a politician and you are doing something that is right, Pastor Nnamdi Kanu will congratulate you. But going along with you, Pastor Nnamdi Kanu will never. He will never go along with you. He will never do the same thing with you. He will never follow the same direction you are going. Pastor Nnamdi Kanu have never any time fight for creating a new Nigeria. No. Pastor Nnamdi Kanu has never fought for a new Nigeria. What Pastor Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for is the self-determination for Biafra people. He has never changed that language. He has never changed that language. Pastor Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for self-determination of Biafran people. He is not fighting for a better Nigeria. He is not forming a political party. Pastor Nnamdi Kanu, one of the reasons why they kidnapped Pastor Nnamdi Kanu, one of the reasons why these people who sold him out, they have been forcing him and telling him to turn IPOB to a political party. Pastor Nnamdi Kanu have said it openly so many times that IPOB is not a political party. IPOB is not a political party. He said it time and time again that IPOB is not a political party. And people still today, people who claim to be with Pastor Nnamdi Kanu, after they have seen Nigeria, thank you, my sister Agatha, Nigeria that have expired. You are right. Nigeria have completely expired. Everybody knows it. It is not a propaganda. Neither is it a blackmail. Nigeria have expired. Even a child, no, foreigners know it. That was why I saw a video. I saw a video where they were teaching people in one university in Scotland. In Scotland, in their high institution, they are teaching people in the leadership class not to be like Buhari. They are using Buhari as a bad example of a president. The late Buhari, they are using him as a bad example of a president, that no leader should be like him. The video is online, going viral. What does that tell you? Nigeria have failed. This same Nigeria that some people now who call themselves politicians and people who claim to be with Pastor Nnamdi Kanu are holding meeting with politicians that are supporting that evil. A senator in the House of Senate come out and begin to talk. He's advocating that people should take up arms, that the government should allow people to hold arms. Advocating that government should allow people to hold arms. This is the same thing that Pastor Nnamdi Kanu is working toward, that they want to kill him. They want to kill Pastor Nnamdi Kanu because he established ESN to secure the ordinary people. Pastor Nnamdi Kanu established ESN to secure Biafra land. The very day Pastor Nnamdi Kanu launched ESN, let every one of you go back and watch that video. Go back and watch the broadcast that Pastor Nnamdi Kanu made the day he launched ESN. Go back and watch it carefully. Pastor Nnamdi Kanu stated the aim and objectives of the ESN that very day. He made it very clear. Pastor Nnamdi Kanu made it very clear that the duty of ESN is to protect our mothers, our sisters, our farmers in the farm. Protect Biafra land and make sure that no inch of Biafra land is taken. Pastor Nnamdi Kanu made it clear that the ESN duty is to fight against the Fulani terrorists in the forest that want to take over our land. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made it clear that ESN is not Biafran army. They are not Biafran army. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not form any army. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made it very clear that the duty of ESN is not for our freedom. The duty of ESN is not for restoration of Biafra. Their duty is to protect Biafra land. He said that when he is going to launch the Biafran army, he will launch it and the whole world will see it. He will launch it and the whole world will see it. The only duty that the ESN had was to protect the ordinary people that the governors have refused to protect. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not just wake up to form ESN. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wrote letters. He wrote letters to the governors to form a security outfit. The North have their own security outfit, the Hisba. The Oduduwa people have their own security outfit, the Omoteku. Every one of them is working, and every one of them have arms, protecting their people. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wrote to these governors, bring out a security outfit to protect Biafra people. They refused. They refused. Then Mazi Nnamdi Kanu went ahead because he knew what is happening. He knew that what is happening today will happen. Look at what is happening in the North. The North has been taken over. The North have been completely taken over. It is no longer a joke. You know, when we say it, people will say is you are just saying it. The northern part of Nigeria have completely been taken over. In Kaduna State, where they are in charge now, every military barrack you can think of, every force you can think of is in Kaduna. Every force that Nigeria has is in Kaduna. Every ammunition you think Nigeria have is in Kaduna, including NDA. Every force that country has is in Kaduna. With jet and everything, they have it in Kaduna. But today, that same Kaduna, where the source, where the power of the country is, where the whole arms and ammunition are, the terrorists have taken over Kaduna. Terrorists are running affairs in Kaduna. Terrorists that can be able to go into the airport without being stopped. They ran into the airport without being stopped. They bombed train station without being intercepted. They went to that place on the road and made another attack the same period. And up to today, as you're watching this video, nothing has been done. Even as you're watching this, nobody has been released. Among the people who were kidnapped in the train, up to today, nothing has been done. They are now calling for ransom. They are calling for ransom. This is what is happening in the North. But this is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu tried to prevent, that so that it will not happen in the Southeast. It will not happen in the Biafra land as a whole. The present South and the Southeast with the lower Benue. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu saw it coming and he tried to protect the area. That was why he formed the ESN. And thanks to ESN, because of ESN, they have not been able, the Fulani foot soldier, the Fulani terrorist foot soldiers cannot be able to penetrate to the southern part of Nigeria. They can't be able to penetrate to Biafra land mainly. And what did they do? When they saw that their Fulani cannot be able to go, when they saw that their Fulani terrorists cannot be able to penetrate, they decided to recruit members of Boko Haram. Every time you hear repented Boko Haram introduced to the army, every time you hear repented Boko Haram introduced to the army, and after releasing them, they push them to Biafra land. Each time they release their Boko Haram, they will tell you they have rehabilitated them, they will send them to Biafra land with uniform. And go and see their footprint in Biafra land. You see their footprint in Biafra land. What they are doing is exactly what the terrorists is doing in the North. That is what the military is doing in Biafra land. Exactly what the terrorists is doing in the North. That is what they are replicating in Biafra land. Burning the homes of people, destroying their businesses, taking the life of innocent people. That's what they are doing. And they are doing it with the support of governors. With the support of governors. Hope Uzodinma is the leader. Bringing them, inviting them every day. They come, they say they add more soldiers. Destroying lives in Biafra land. No single politician is speaking up. No single elite is standing up and saying this cannot happen. No, not even one. Not even one. All of them are playing, all of them are dancing to the tune of the caliphate. Look at the idiot that just came. When he came, some people were raising their hope high, thinking that he's going to do something. As Soludo entered, what did he do? Soludo just joined Hope Uzodinma. And Soludo want to make Anambra State worse than Imo State. That is what Soludo wants to do. Soludo was there. Ihiala was destroyed. The house was destroyed. People were killed. Some people were killed. Soludo could not go and visit those people. Ordinary citizens, their house was bombed in the presence of Soludo. Somebody who has just become a governor. Somebody who just become a governor. The first thing you're supposed to go is to go and meet the ordinary people who are facing that very attack, to talk to them. He is busy. He's busy telling us he's clearing dustbin. He's busy going from one dustbin to the other, where he's going to see people to recruit. He's going to just want dustbin to order in order to deceive people to stop sit at home. Any place you see him going on that dustbin, what does he do? His major speech in that dustbin that he's going is stop sit at home, stop sit at home. Is he sit at home that created the dustbin for him? I don't know. Is it the sit at home that formed the dustbin? But the people who were being killed in Anambra State as he became a governor, in his presence, he went to the extent of going to the government houses where the issue affected. Government houses that were affected, he went there, but he did not go to the ordinary people, innocent people whom were destroyed, properties burned, their business is destroyed. Soludo never went to them to talk about them. He didn't go to them to inquire. He didn't go to them to hear what is happening. But he was bold enough to begin to tell people, you should stop sitting at home. Telling us you want to stop sitting at home. That you are doing something about Mazen. Are you the first person to tell us that you are doing something? Are you the first person that tell us to do something? We have seen you governors. Governors came together and held a meeting that we are going to send delegates on behalf of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. For how many months now? Almost a year. Almost a year. When they held that meeting, the governors came together. They said they are going to form, they don't know what they call it, they're going to form a panel. They said they will form a panel that will go for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. For how many months now? We have not seen any result. The ones that pretended and said they want to go and meet late Buhari, the imposter in Asoro, they went and met the imposter in Asoro. After the whole deceit, the imposter in Asoro came on interview and said that there is nothing of such. No discussion on the table. No discussion on the table. And the only word I have to pick up there is that he still went back and said there might be a political solution, but it will depend on the mass action. The mass action is what we are trying to hold on, and the Soludo is trying to destroy it. The public opinion is what we are trying to develop, hold it a higher esteem, but Soludo is fighting against it, trying to destroy it. And then, on the other hand, he's telling us he wants Mazen Nnamdi to come out. Even when he knows that a politician cannot save Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. A lawyer cannot save, a judge cannot save Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. What will save Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is public opinion, because when the judge will decide the case of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, 50% of the decision of that decision will be taken according to what the public says. 50% of the decision of the judge on the case of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will be determined by what the public are doing and what they're saying. And the public they are going to look at is the Biafra land, what is happening in Biafra land. That is why we say we have to make the arrest of Mazen, the detention of Mazen, and the kidnapping of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, we have to make it much more expensive for the caliphate, more than ever. We have to make the contract of Nigeria know that it is more costly to hold Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in captivity than to leave him outside. That is what we are supposed to be doing. Make the detention of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu much more expensive than anybody can be able to imagine. That is what we're supposed to do. And when we started the plan, Soludo have been introduced to fight against it. Soludo is introduced to fight against it. But Biafrans, I thank Chukwuma that Biafrans are awake. They are not sleeping. With all the blackmail, with all the propaganda, with all the trap they are setting, we are not sleeping. We are not sleeping. We will continue to do the right thing. And Biafrans cannot sell their birthright anymore. Biafran cannot sell their freedom for porridge. We cannot sell our freedom because you're clearing gutter. Soludo cannot buy Biafran people in the name of clearing gutter because you use Caterpillar to clear gutter. Is that not your responsibility? Is that not what a government should do? Is that not what the government should do? You want us to begin to praise you because you're clearing gutter? Is that not what you're supposed to do as a government? You want to use it to deceive Biafran people to stop sit at home. Biafrans are wise. We are wiser than before. We know things that we never knew before. We know it now. All thanks to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has been able to train enough soldiers. The blood of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is flowing on our veins. The blood of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is flowing on the vein of every Biafran. And we are standing with him. It is either Biafra or death. And we will never stop. If you want to stop the sit at home, what you have to do is to go and free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Go and free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And on the day of the court, on the 8th, it is going to be a total lockdown in Biafra land. It is going to be a total lockdown in Biafra land on the 8th. No matter what you say, no matter what anybody does, Thank you so much, my sister. Blessing Casey. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining. No matter what they say, no matter what they do, it is going to be a total lockdown. If you want to stop the sit at home, it's a simple mathematics. Every one of them should come together and talk about the freedom of Pastor Nnamdi Kanu. Go and release him. He has not committed any crime. He hasn't committed any crime. If Pastor Nnamdi Kanu was doing something that is wrong, if he is committing any crime, Pastor Nnamdi Kanu was preaching in London for more than a decade. More than a decade, he was in London preaching on a daily basis. We didn't hear any day that the police invited him in London. They know where he was. They know his home. They know. We didn't hear any day that the police in UK invited Pastor Nnamdi Kanu. We didn't hear any day that he was arrested. We didn't even hear any day that they sent him any warning. Not even once. Because he was preaching the right gospel. He was speaking the truth. Even while he was in UK, he was talking against the UK government on the evil they are doing, performing in the country of Nigeria. The problem they are causing in Nigeria. He knew very much about it, and he was speaking about it. He spoke about it on various occasions. He called out the UK government while he was in UK. He was never arrested for one day. If Pastor Nnamdi Kanu was just making a propaganda or he was lying, he would have been arrested in London long ago, long before now. Didn't you see the other one, the other fool that was arrested? The other fool who was calling for the death of the Igbos. The other fool who was calling for the death of the Igbo Biafrans, who decided to make Igbo Biafrans his enemies, when the Igbo Biafrans have nothing to do with what is happening to him and what is happening to his nation and what is happening to control of Nigeria. He decided to begin to peddle lies. Today, where is he? Today, in that same UK, within the space of how many years he started out his message? Within the space of less than 1 year that he started out his useless message, he's now locked up. He's in prison. He's cooling off in prison in the UK. But Pastor Nnamdi Kanu have been preaching the gospel of unity and peace, gospel of restoration, asking for self-determination for his people, which is a right request to make. Asking for referendum. Referendum is the most peaceful way to resolve issue politically. Referendum that Pastor Nnamdi Kanu is asking for is the most peaceful way to resolve issue. The most peaceful way to resolve issue is referendum. But why are they refusing that referendum? Why are they refusing it? The most peaceful way. That is one when you go to the House of Assembly. Each time they suggest something in the House of Assembly, they will say either yes or no. They will say yes or no. The yes have it. If the number of people who says yes is higher, the yes have it. If the number of people who said no is higher, the no have it. What is that? That is another referendum. That is just what Pastor Nnamdi Kanu is asking for. Let the Biafran people decide their fate if they want to be in Nigeria or not. After conducting the referendum, if the Biafran people decide that we want to be in Nigeria, no problem, we remain there. We remain there and face the consequence. Let them even try to manipulate the referendum. Let them come and manipulate the referendum, but conduct it. If they lie, let them manipulate it. Conduct referendum, bring the result. If you win the referendum, we remain in Nigeria. The most peaceful way to resolve issue. Referendum is not a call for war. Pastor Nnamdi Kanu has never called for war at any point in time. Even when he was asked by a journalist if he would go for war, he said no. Pastor Nnamdi Kanu was asked by a journalist, are you going for war? He said he's not going for war. That he will achieve self-determination through referendum. He said it again and again. The referendum is the only way, only means that we're going to achieve what we're looking for. He never called for war at any time. Each time you see them pointing at ESN that he established, it is not only in the southeastern part, it's only in Biafra that you have the security outfit. You have it in the north. In the north, you have the Hizbah. The Hizbah themselves, even the Hizbah that they formed by the north, they can even arrest the policeman. They arrest the Nigerian police. I have seen a video where Hizbah arrests Nigerian police. And the funniest thing that this Hizbah, they have their own constitution. They are the ones promoting the Sharia law in the northern part of Nigeria. This is a country that is supposed to be one, but they are operating on two different laws. The north are operating on a different law, and they have their own forces to enforce it. They have Hizbah to enforce their law. They carry weapons. They do all manner of things. They arrest Nigerian police. Nobody said anything. Nobody challenging them. In Oduduwa land, we have the Omoteku. Omoteku is working. But in Biafra land, what do we have? Before Mazi Nnamdi Kanu formed the ESN, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu called on the governors. They never did anything. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu formed the ESN to protect Biafra land because of what is going on today. Because of what is going on today. But what did they do? They never did. Until when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu formed that very ESN, they now came out and begin to form their Ibubago. They went and formed the Ibubago. And at the end of the day, what do you say about the Ibubago? The Ibubago have now turned around to become the unknown gunmen and their political talks. Ibubago changed to begin to kill Biafran people. They changed to become a talk in the hand of the politicians. And when we say it, people think it is not a propaganda. Even their own politicians, their representative in the Senate, their representative in the Senate, we are calling the government, calling the Janjaweed government to come and ban the Ibubago, that the Ibubago has become a tool in the hand of the governors. They begin to use the Ibubago to assassinate people. They begin to use the Ibubago to kill their enemies. They begin to use the Ibubago as unknown gunmen, taking out people. And when they commit all those evil, they will begin to blame ESN. They will blame ESN. They want to divert attention. They want to divert attention. ESN are doing their work in the bushes. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu established ESN. He established ESN not to fight police. He didn't establish them to fight police. He didn't establish them to fight the army. He established them to protect our forest, protect our bushes, protect our farmers who are farming, so that the Fulanis will not kill them. That was why ESN was formed. And since the time he established ESN, they have been in the bushes. They don't have any duty in the city. We have never had any day where he said he will call them out. Even when the pressure was so much, there was a time he was warning when Biafra people were killing, he said he's going to call them out, but he never called them out. He never called them out in the streets. ESN remained in the bushes, fighting the battle in the bush, making sure that the Biafra is being protected. But what do you see? What do you see? What you see is that the governors begin to take the life of innocent people. People who are not even have anything to do with the ESN. People who are not even agitators. Some of them are not even registered members of IPOB. Those are the people who Hope Uzodinma is killing in Imo State. Hope Uzodinma have turned Imo State a war zone. That same Hope Uzodinma today, who is taking the life of innocent people, have come with his own mouth to confess that the people who are killing in Imo State are politicians. Hope Uzodinma was seen in a video where he was saying that it is the politicians that are in charge of the unknown gunmen. Hope Uzodinma said it with his own mouth. That it is the politicians that are promoting the unknown gunmen, nobody else. It is the politician. That was what Hope Uzodinma said by himself. It is not that we are putting the defense. Hope Uzodinma said it in a video. Not only Hope Uzodinma, Dave Umahi in Ebonyi State, she said it. That the people who are sponsoring the unknown government, they are politicians. Obiano that just finished his tenure. Obiano, former governor of Anambra State, still said the same thing. Obiano came out and said that unknown gunmen, they are politicians. That is the politicians that are sponsoring them. But what do you see when they want to demonize the Biafran struggle? They will tell you that they are ESN. When they want to look for an evidence against Pastor Nnamdi Kanu, they will tell you they are ESN. But even the ones we see that they captured in Imo State, the people who were shot dead in action, they found the ID card of the DSS in their pocket. It is not a propaganda. The video is still out there. An unknown gunman was shot and they saw in his pocket the ID card of DSS, a DSS member. And what did they say? They told us that it's accidental discharge. Accidental discharge, when you have 8 bullets on somebody, you call it an accidental discharge. Not 1 bullet, 8 bullets. 8 bullets on the chest of somebody, and you call it accidental discharge. And they swept that case under the carpet. We saw the other issue in Anambra State, where unknown gunmen were attacked and killed. And when they saw them, every one of them were Fulanis. They were Fulani people. They were Fulani. Every one of them have seen in action. They are Fulani. The only ones they try to blackmail IPOB is when they catch a cultist. They will catch a cultist. They will tell the cultist to confess to be a member of IPOB, be a member of ESN. A cultist who is confessing to be a member of ESN doesn't even know when he enters. Some of them, when they will tell him when they join ESN, when they say they join ESN, ESN have been informed. When the time they say they join ESN have not been formed. When you check their story, they are telling you see that their story is not adding up. They are just deceiving people. This is what we have been seeing time and time again. It has been happening, occurring. But Biafran people have risen, and we say, not anymore. We can no longer take that. No more. We have died enough, and we not continue to die. They have killed us enough. We have lost enough soul in Biafra land. Enough is enough, and we cannot continue on that path. Civil disobedience that Biafrans are acting. Civil disobedience is the most peaceful way of airing your opinion, the most peaceful way of showing your grievances. In civil disobedience, you don't carry arms. In civil disobedience, you're not killing anybody. In civil disobedience, you're not doing anything. You are just exercising your right in civil disobedience. Your own human right, you're exercising it. Refusing to come out is your own right. You can choose to come out or not to come out. You can choose to do your business or not to do your business. And Biafrans of their own make that choice. Nobody is forcing anybody. Nobody is enforcing it. Each time you see them seeing people, you see people who claim to be enforcing it. These are people who are being planted by the government. It is the government themselves that planted these people to behave as if they are enforcing the sit at home. The unknown government, they are sponsored by the government. They will come and parade themselves as if they want to. Then later they will tell you that it's this ESN is doing it. We have seen this footprint of the government every time. It is not. You don't need a rocket. It's not a rocket science for you not to be able to dictate. They did the same thing during NSAS. During NSAS, you saw the way they demonized the NSAS. You saw the way they changed. They demonized the NSAS. It was the government that sponsored hoodlums. They sponsored hoodlums with the arm to come and infiltrate the NSAS. You saw them on camera. They were captured in camera. The videos are still on Facebook. They are still everywhere. Government-sponsored talks. They came to pursue people who are legitimately protesting. They infiltrated the NSAS. Government-sponsored talk. Begin to attack people. Begin to destroy houses, destroy properties. And at the end of the day, they turn back and say, no, that the struggle, the NSAS have been hijacked. That same hijack language is what Soludo is in today. Hijack. That same language is what Soludo is in today. Soludo came out and is telling us that the Biafran struggle has been hijacked. That was what Soludo said yesterday in his interview. In Channel television interview yesterday, that was what Soludo said, that the Biafran struggle has been hijacked. The same language that the caliphate is using. The same script is what they are playing at every point in time. The same script. It doesn't need rocket science for you to know these people. It doesn't need rocket science for you to know these people and what they are doing. It is the same techniques, the same tactics. That is what they are using. Nothing more. They are not changing it. But it's so sad that some of us, we cannot be able to dictate these things. We cannot be able to do. But I thank Chukwuma that Biafran people in Biafra land are not stepping back. Biafran people are standing strong, standing tall, making sure that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is being freed. We cannot sell our freedom for porridge. It doesn't matter the blackmail they bring. It doesn't matter the attack they bring. It doesn't matter where they're coming from, east, west, north, and south. They cannot overpower us. We will continue to stand our ground until Biafra comes. It is either Biafra or nothing. It is either Biafra or nothing. There is nothing we are asking for them. We are asking for the freedom of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and the freedom of Biafran people. Soludo, hear me and hear me clear. Hear me and hear me clear. The only thing you can do to make sure that the sit at home stop is to free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, take him to his father's palace in Afaruku. He will stay in his father's palace and announce the end of the sit at home. That's it. You don't need to pray. He doesn't need prayer. You gathering clergy to say you are praying, you are wasting your time. You gathering clergymen who are under your payroll, you gather them and say you are praying for the end of it. You are wasting your time. The solution is simple. Free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and the sit at home will end. We go to the face of our referendum. But since you're not willing to say that, I will advise you, pretend as if you don't know anything about Biafra. Pretend as if you don't know anything about agitation. Pretend as if you don't know anything about sit at home and focus on your governance. That is the only way you can succeed. That is the only way you can be relevant in Biafra land. That is the only way you can make sense. Pretend. We are not telling you to support us. We are not telling you to protest for us. We are not telling you to campaign for us. Just pretend as if you are not seeing us and focus on your governance. That is the only way you'll succeed. But if you refuse, you have already failed. If you refuse, you have chosen the wrong battle. And this battle you've chosen will swallow you. The battle you have chosen will swallow. Anambra State is not like any other state. That is the hometown of our eternal leader, Dim Odumegwu. And until that, Dim Odumegwu was standing for Biafra. But since you have come to play a different role, you are not going to find it easy. It's not going to be funny. Your own is going to be worse because you know the truth and you refuse to accept the truth. That is why you will face the most difficult challenge. You know the truth and you rejected it. That is why your own punishment is going to be worse than any other person. Because you know the truth and you have refused it. You know the truth and you have refused it. That is why your own punishment is going to be worse. It doesn't matter what anybody says. It doesn't matter what they do. We will continue to stand our ground, and Chukwuma will continue to protect any Biafra. I pray that Chukwuma will protect every single Biafran in Biafra land. Every single Biafran in Biafra land, Chukwuma will protect you and secure you. May Chukwuma go and protect every Biafran person that is standing on with the Biafran struggle, who are sitting at home. Whatever you have lost because of this one single day, Chukwuma will give you triple of whatever you lose on Monday. On Tuesday, you will prosper more. On Tuesday, you will gain everything you have lost. Anything you sacrifice for the sake of Biafra, you will gain it in 100-fold. Anything you lose for the sake of Biafra, you will get it in 100-fold. Chukwuma will protect every single person in Biafra land. Every Biafran, wherever you are, adding a meaning, supporting the struggle. Chukwuma will strengthen you. Any place you are, fighting and struggling, joining the struggle, any place you are, Chukwuma will be with you, guide you and protect you until the end. You will never lose your life in this struggle. Every one of us will march into Biafra land. We will celebrate in Biafra land. We will raise the flag with our Soludo and Nnamdi Kanu. May Chukwuma guide and protect every single person that is fighting for freedom. It doesn't matter your tribe. It doesn't matter your religion. It doesn't matter where you belong. As far as you are genuinely fighting for the freedom of your own people, Chukwuma will protect you and secure you. You will see that freedom. You will enjoy that freedom alive. If you're from Oduduwa land, you will see Oduduwa and you will enjoy Oduduwa land. If you're from the Middle Belt, you will see freedom and enjoy it. Even in the North, any place you are, and you are genuinely fighting for freedom, you will see that freedom and you will enjoy it. Every Biafran living all over the world, any place the Biafrans are, genuine Biafrans who really know what they want, genuine Biafrans who have conscience, who are genuinely fighting for their freedom, every single one of us will step into Biafra with our food. We will celebrate in Biafra land and we will raise the flag with our Soludo and Nnamdi Kanu. May Chukwuma guide and protect our Soludo and Nnamdi Kanu. Secure him wherever he is. Every poison that have been injected into the body of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, every attack against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, whatever attack or poison that have given him, may Chukwuma send down doctors spiritually to continue to heal him. No weapon formed or fashioned against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu shall prosper. If you have not shared this video, please share the video all platforms. Share it in your channel, share it on your platform, in your Facebook, on your WhatsApp group, any place you can share. Share the video. Let it go to your family and friends. We are here to create awareness and give support to our fellow Biafrans. To give support to Biafra, but encourage Biafrans to continue to stand firm. Our freedom is very close, closer than before. We are seeing the light already at the end of the tunnel, and every one of us will get there. We want as many people as possible to get into Biafra. That is my desire. It is human being that we live in Biafra. We don't want to continue to lose life. We don't want to continue to see the loss of life. I want many people to see Biafra and enjoy in Biafra land. That is my desire. It is my desire that many people will enjoy Biafra, will see Biafra, will enjoy this freedom alive. That is why we are creating the awareness. If you're in Biafra land, please obey the sit at home. Obey the civil disobedience. Sit at home. The economic sanction, begin to think about it. Stop paying your revenue to the local government, state government, or federal government. Keep that money. It's going to serve you a lot in the time to come. Our brothers and sisters in the riverine area, begin to do the needful. Our brothers and sisters in the riverine area, this is the time for you to play your role in the civil disobedience, in the economic sanction. Economic sanction. Our brothers and sisters in the riverine area, you have a role to play. The oil production, which you know that they are stealing it dry. We have to shut it down to zero. You saw the video that Adeboye made. Adeboye recently have come to make a video. The GO of Redeem, Adeboye, he made a video telling you how evil Nigeria is. The way they are stealing your money dry. They are stealing the oil production in Biafra land. They are stealing the dry. That the oil that they are bringing to Biafra, taking from Biafra land, that the one they are investing in Nigeria is not up to 5%. They are stealing everything dry. They steal the oil, they steal everything, they take it outside the country, and at the end of the day, they will borrow money to buy it and bring it back. This is what is happening. Adeboye recently, in the recent video, confessed to that. That is to show you how terrible the contraption called Nigeria is. And the earlier you begin to ask out, the better. If you're one of those who is still talking about one Nigeria, you better have everything before it is too late. Those who were involved in that attack in the train in Kaduna, they never knew that it would happen. Most of the people who were attacked in that train and the people who are preaching one Nigeria, even our own sister Chinelo lost her life in that very day. A doctor, Chinelo, who was planning to go abroad the following day, Chinelo lost her life. A doctor in that attack. She never knew it to be her. There are so many other people who are preaching this one Nigeria, who doesn't want to add their own talk, who doesn't want to hear about Biafra, but they are paying the ultimate price. Don't allow it to be you. No matter your tribe, no matter your religion, no matter your area you belong, do not wait until you lose 5 million people like Biafran people before you begin to ask for your freedom. Don't wait until you lose 5 million. Biafran have lost more than 5 million and they are still losing. They have lost more than 5 million and they are still losing. It doesn't matter your tribe. It doesn't matter your location. Do not wait until you lose 5 million like Biafra before you begin to speak up for the breakup of that country called Nigeria. Don't wait. And I'm not praying that you lose 5 million just like we Biafra have lost. I'm not praying for that. But you have to do the needful. You have to do. You don't only wish. You don't only wish. You have to act to break up of this contraction so that every one of us will have a nation that we can defend. A sane nation where every one of us will be defended. A place where we can be proudly call our own home. That is the needful that we should do. Every Biafra have to wake up from their sleep. Do the needful. If you call yourself a human rights activist in that country called Nigeria, it is the time to speak up. Injustice against one is injustice against all. Don't wait until it happens to you before you speak. Now that it's happening, learn from the mistake of others and correct it. That is the best thing to do. We are not preaching hate against anybody. We are calling for freedom. We are calling for self-determination for every indigenous tribe in the country of Nigeria. Pastor Nnamdi Kanu is not only fighting for the Igbos. He's not only fighting for the Southeast. He's not only fighting for Biafran people. He's not only fighting for the southern part of Nigeria. He's not only fighting for the indigenous people in Biafra land. He's fighting for every black man in the planet Earth. Every oppressed person, Pastor Nnamdi Kanu is speaking up for them. There are so many cases, so many videos where he has spoken up, even for the Janjaweed, when they're being intimidated. That is why he is different. Injustice against one is injustice against all. Speak up. Use your platform. Say a word. Say a prayer for Pastor Nnamdi Kanu. He must be released unconditionally. No matter what they do, they will kill us. We will kill them. At the end of the day, Biafra will definitely come. Thank you so much for watching wherever you are watching from. I appreciate you for joining me from the beginning of this broadcast up to this minute. I say may Chukwuma guide and protect you. Thank you. I will see you again tomorrow by the special grace of Chukwuma. Always join me if you have your time. Share the video on your platform. You can like the video, share the video, send to your family and friends. Let them know what is going on. Thank you and remember this. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.